the kid in a way. I don't know why, though.
Just wet. Were it wet roads or snowy roads?
It was snowing, but it was it's only nine. It just started snowing. There was nothing sticking.
Basically like rain then.
Yeah. It was snowing pretty good, though. There's no doubt. But
now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by Ideal Home Loans. For your next ideal home loan, this is a consumer show where we help people. That's what we do with consumer problems, with consumer questions and complaints, and we get directly involved in solving problems. We do. We have experts that help us every day. We recover millions of dollars for people over the years, millions. And cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeartRadio app, live on KHOW Radio and KRDO Radio in the Springs, and more. Mark?
Guess what Channel 7 picked up and ran a story on last night?
Who?
The asbestos one.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
So, well, you know, it's excellent, not excellent. Of course, that contractor, Johnson, has no money.
But did they track him down?
You know what, I don't even know what to say about Channel 7. Nothing. I'm glad they picked the story up. They didn't mention his name.
Why?
I don't know. They did it in the story on there, but the actual news story that aired, they just said a handyman or whatever they used. I don't know. They didn't go after him. But it looked like he definitely didn't have a license. Deputy Clint did a lot on that. But we were talking about this, what, a week ago?
Yeah, but we have a lot. If you go to sleazbrigade.com, sleazbrigade.com, you'll find a lot of bad people, man. We have been following, and we're going for a criminal prosecution on some of these for violation of the Contractors Trust Act, taking money up front and doing nothing, or taking it and misusing it. People don't understand there's a trust act, and it's a very strict one in Colorado. We just can't get people to enforce it. Well, we're doing it now. We're gradually getting traction with the district attorneys around. We want to go to the phones. We have Absolute Radon Safety with us, and we've been talking about radon testing and radon mitigation. We also have Mold Check with us, and this is Jeff Werpy with Mold Check, mymoldcheck.com. And mold is another area of exaggeration, I think, when it comes to health and all of that. Then we have a discussion, and a discussion on what happened. Now, there are many elements to this, so be patient. The discussion is about a boyfriend taking Mark's daughter out, and then because rates have been low, people have opted for shorter-term loans.
Well, absolutely, and it's a great way to get ahead financially. Here's the thing. I get this question all the time, Tom. What's the smartest thing I can do as it relates to my home loan? And it's really simple. Pay it off as fast as you can.
Right.
Beat the bank at their own game. Don't pay any more interest than you have to. When you take a shorter-term home loan, you're saving yourself interest and money over time.
Right. A lot. And what you can do is name your term with Ideal Home Loans. Really. 22, 23, 24. I mean, name your own term. And they will do it. And you still get the low rate. 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000. Remember, they also have the interest rate guarantee. If they go down after you do it for the next 2 years, even by 0.75%, you get refinance free of charge. That's 303-867-7000 or idealhomeloans.com. Mike, you have a comment on Addie's boyfriend. Go ahead, Mike.
Yes, Tom, I agree with you. Great judgment on that young man. I'm thankful that nobody died because he used good judgment. And Mark, I agree with that. The earlier caller, you're a little too hard, and but I'm able to stomach you right now. That's why.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. Now listen, one guy said that it's let's see what this one says. The kids were up to no good at a friend's house prior to the call. The BF is presuming, the boyfriend is assuming or is pressuring her to call the parents, and they can't make it home. So they think, Mark, they agree with you that was a lot of bull. But then someone said, I would never let this young man. Okay, we read that one. And then another one says, I'm trying to get to the ones that there were some guys actually that, okay, I think Mark is totally off base. The boy's 18, and he's only had 2 years of driving experience. He stopped and pulled over to collect his thoughts. Now, this is assuming he's telling the truth. I agree. To keep the daughter and himself safe, he called his parents. She called her parents. That seems totally appropriate. They didn't anticipate bad weather. They just got stuck in it, and they did the right thing. So So that's one perspective. And then let's see, are there any other?
I've got one here. Boy should have called before time to come home. I've gotten a lot, but some of the ones that I get directly to me are more like, I would have had my shotgun out and stuff like that. So those are great to get and see. But I mean, honestly, the real deal it just irritated me, Tom.
Right. 303-713-TALK. I get it, because he thought he was being played. Karen, you got a comment. Go ahead, Karen.
Hi there.
Yes.
I just wanted to I heard the lady say something about Mark and then the gentleman just now. I actually appreciate Mark being able to get in there and fight for us as consumers and kind of take over when you're not there. So
well, there's a reason he's here. I mean, I like his personality. I mean, I like that. Yes.
You damn well better.
Yeah, we like it we like having that. Go ahead. Sorry.
I totally agree with Mark. I have an older daughter that's 20, and then I have a daughter that's 17 right now that's dating a guy. And it is a sheer fight to get respect as a parent, because they think they own the world. They think that they can do whatever they want, and they don't think they have to listen because, oh my God, they're dating. And I totally agree with Mark. There's totally disrespect, and I agree with him. They don't think they have to do anything. They think they can, just because they're dating, they're adults now. They do whatever they want.
Okay, thank you. Susan, what's your comment? Go ahead, Susan.
If I was Mark's son, I'd be afraid to call him too. I think it's horrible. That he was afraid to call his dad. I would respect him more that if he wasn't comfortable.
I think he's confused. I don't know what this guy's saying.
No, this is Susan.
It's our daughter, Susan. It's not our son. It's our daughter and her boyfriend bringing her home. But
now,
I know what you're saying.
One guy says, Mark is a nut. Of course, I want anyone to call. It's about safety. Who cares who calls? Mark needs to take a pill. I have 3 adult children, all learn to drive. We would welcome a call like this at any time.
It's after they were supposed to be home.
How would perfect Mark feel if they got into an accident? Mark needs to grow up. Okay, so here's the deal. This is, by the way, make your comments about the situation. I don't care about personal comments about Mark. Though, here's the deal, okay? First of all, as far as,
I like personal comments.
We're not when it comes to this. I don't like personal comments. But as far as obnoxious, here's what happens on the obnoxious meter. I was full of obnoxiousness and would piss off people all the time. And for some reason over the years, as Mark says, I got soft. I didn't get soft. I think that what happened is
Wonder Bread.
I think my judgment and my passion is still there, but my judgment kicked in, and I'm just more discerning, I think. And then I take Mark in to fill in the gaps of obnoxiousness. So between us, we have just a good blend of all. And I'm still obnoxious sometimes because listen, it's not that I don't get fired up. I get fired up a lot. But here's the deal. I need someone who gets so frickin' fired up, he grabs his cell phone and runs out to the scene that afternoon and goes after him like a pit bull. That's what we need, and we're going to keep doing it.
Tom?
Yes.
I texted you a screenshot between me and Addie. There was no curfew. The movie was at 7. Come home as soon as you can, just so you know.
So there was no curfew. You said it was after the curfew.
My assumption, she'd be home at 9:30.
That was an assumption. Okay. So, but from past comments. Okay. Now, I want to know something, Jeff. Mold check. When you say mold check, what mold do you check for? What mold? And who calls you? If I'm buying a house, do I call you?
Yeah, Tom. Frequently, home buyers will call us.
Why not just a regular home inspector? Do you do more?
There's a difference. A lot of the home inspectors nowadays are pretty keyed into these water damaged areas in homes, and a lot of times I'll recommend that they have the general home inspection done first prior to doing any testing. And then there's also people come from Texas or California. They're like, oh my gosh, I just need a mold test or a mold inspection.
Okay, then if people see mold and they call you, they don't know what it is. Okay. Do we have to worry when we see mold?
Well, there's certainly reason for concern, obviously. Any home can have mold growth, and whether it's new or old, and it also depends on how much is there.
But mold's been around forever and ever and ever. I remember walking into my grandparents' basement. Oh my God, there was mold all over the place, all over. And you know, they only lived to 102. So I'm wondering, and let's talk about this. mold, do you think some of it's exaggerated, the scare?
Well, absolutely. There's a lot of scare involved. And
not all mold is toxic.
Not all mold is toxic. Some are allergenic, some are pathogenic, and then there's toxic varieties.
Okay, so the worst kind is toxic, meaning anyone exposed to it can get sick.
That's where it kind of it lies on the person's DNA. Actually, it comes back to DNA. Some people are super sensitive to certain types of molds, and
but is there any mold that's just downright dangerous to everyone?
Yes, there's Stachybotrys, and that's the black mold that you hear these horror stories about.
That's very rare, right? That black mold.
Not necessarily. We actually see it a lot here in Colorado, and I probably get a call at least once a week where people say, "Oh, we don't have mold in Colorado. It's too dry. We have a dry climate."
How do you get rid of black mold?
Well, typically black mold can grow on a variety of substrates.
How do you get rid of it?
Typically, when it's on drywall, you usually have to remove it, unless there's a couple of spots.
Okay.
Now, it can also grow in attics.
Can you kill it?
You can absolutely kill it.
And it won't grow again? And you got to take away the moisture, right?
You got to take away the moisture. You got to eliminate your moisture source immediately, and then you can remove the affected building materials, as in drywall. I've had homes where we go in and have to basically rip all the drywall out and take it down to the studs.
What's regular mold other than, what's the most common mold?
The most common mold is cladosporium, and that's the most common mold in the world. Well, the cladosporium tends to float around in the air every day, and
is that harmful to us? Only if you're allergic?
On the cladosporium, it's more of the lower range, and it's the most common species of mold in the world. There's 100,000 different types of molds in the world, but there's about 1,000 in the U.S.
What are the ones that just grow around like a tree outside that's in a, with a lot of rain?
Yeah, there could be a variety of molds that grow, like moss grows on the north side of trees.
What do? You come in and do a mold test, and then you tell them what's in the house.
Yes, and I don't necessarily always recommend testing. It depends on the situation.
Okay, but if they test and they get results, then what?
Then we have to move to the remediation procedures, where we have to isolate the area, seal it off with plastic sheeting.
If it's not dangerous, why bother?
It depends on the type of strain. Now, sometimes you'll have several molds growing in one area, whether it be a crawl space or attic, or even in, say, a leak under a sink in a kitchen.
And where's the moisture coming from most of the time? From plumbing, or from outside, or from what?
A variety of areas. In crawl spaces, you can have ground moisture, or you can have foundation leaks. In attics, you can have an attic leak, or we typically get a lot of condensation in the winter months.
So when you mediate, you definitely got to get rid of the water, though.
Yes, you got
the source.
That's the source. You have to eliminate the source. Absolutely.
And I was told that if most people, with the exception of very few molds, most people, if you did nothing and just basically remove the moisture to keep it from growing, that the spores in the air would never really do anything unless you truly had a weak immune system. Most general mold.
Well, and that kind of goes back to the fact that some people, I have clients that can walk into a house and break out in hives, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, there's mold in here. I've got to get out of here." Where other people are fine around it, don't have any allergies, don't have any symptoms. I can go out to a family of 5, say 2 are sick, 3 are fine. You can get any different kind of variation.
So it depends on the person.
It depends on the person and your immune system. Children, infants, elderly, people with compromised immune systems as well.
In general.
In general.
I want to know, in general, do most homes have mold?
You can usually find some degree of mold in any home, old or new, yes.
Okay. But what percent really have to worry about it of all, if we all have mold? A small percentage?
Well, a small percentage, and then it just kind of depends on the situation. I grew up in Minnesota, and those cellars back there were a moldy mess. And you go back east, the same thing.
That's what I'm finding difficult to tie down. Here's what I'm asking: who should be concerned? I guess if you're telling me if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If there's no sickness, no upper respiratory, no problems, don't go hunting, or what?
No, not at all.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, a lot of times you never know what's behind any given wall in any home.
Okay, but if I'm living in a home right now and nothing is going on, we're just living there, why would I want to test for mold?
Sometimes people will have children that are sick. They have these illnesses that pop.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about a normal family under normal conditions listening right now. I mean, there's no reason to test.
There's no reason to test if you're not seeing anything.
Unless they see it.
Okay.
If you haven't had any flooding.
If you see it, if you have a lot of problems, and the problems usually are an allergic type.
Yeah, it could be anywhere from sinusitis, upper respiratory,
and if
headaches.
It continues a lot, you may want to check.
Yes, yes.
That's really interesting, because here's the deal. We have to take a break, but this mold thing, the thing that really grates me is how many people get ripped off chasing this thing.
Absolutely.
And it's not a big deal. You need someone who not only tests, but will allay your fears and tell you the truth, and that's why we got this guy. So anyway, he's MoldCheck, mymoldcheck.com. We gotta take a break because people are really pissed at me right now for not doing it.
Where in Minnesota are you from? I'm from Minnesota.
Small town on the west side, Madison, a couple thousand people.
West side, Madison. Must be south.
Yeah, south and almost to the border of South Dakota.
See, I'm almost on the border of North Dakota, just north of Florida.
Oh, yeah. But
Good farm boy?
Not necessarily, no. Actually, my dad was a baker. My grandpa was a baker, and my dad took over the bakery. I've been here since 81. I'm 49, so I've been here 37 years. My dad just moved back to Madison.
Really?
Bought a house back there for 40 grand.
I bet you I'm from a smaller town.
Probably, huh? We went back over Labor Day, though. It was interesting. It was a pretty slow town. Not much, no stoplight. It was a bustling town, though, back when I was a kid. You know, it was a farm country. Main Street was busy. You know, it was a good town to raise a family.
Like we had a school like every 8 miles or so was another school district. Now there's probably 2 schools in the county.
Yeah, the ever-shrinking small town.
I love this story about Mitch.
It's nice to go back in the summer, or, you know, early summer, late summer. Don't go in the winter. I said, the next time I'm coming back for a funeral, if I come back in the winter, it's going to be
So Madison, you're outside Red River Valley, right? You must be south of the Red River Valley.
I believe so. It's Lackawanna County. Geographically, I don't recall as much.
Really flat there?
Yeah, really flat where we're at. And where we're at, not a lot of lakes. But I still have family up in Fergus Falls area. My grandpa lived in Brainerd for a while. I have family in the cities. Yeah.
Why? Oh, I forgot to tell him that. Because I came around there.
He already did. He answered me. But then I sent him another.
Because I told him.
Did it come back up? It's all good?
Yeah, it's all good.
What'd you guys do? Anything downstairs?
I love this woman.
What'd you reboot?
The 2 servers up there.
And then it came right back up.
Well, it came up, but it came up slow. Because it took you know, the download was fine. It was the upload that killed it. Download never did see an issue with it.
If there's mold or anything. Really? She's not even living in there. Her cats are sick. She's sick.
Really?
It is.
Tom should ask that Dixie for cats started talking.
Tell us exactly what's going on.
Oh, that was the one with the
Condo,
carpet.
like, end unit, middle unit?
She's an end unit.
And it's roofing issues, or where the
After they replaced the roof, that's when she started having all these issues. And she had to move out. She is the only thing she owns is this house.
Really?
I mean, because she had a horrible accident. I mean, this is her thing.
Howard Stern says, get the fuck out of the White House.
They're horrible. So I might
listen to that. No,
connect you with her.
I can give you my card.
I just she's actually talking to Frank Duran about
he was talking about Trump
selling
with,
but needed.
That's Howard Stern, right?
Yeah, Frank's a real estate guy you work with, right?
Yeah, I gave him your name.
I work with hundreds of real estate.
Yeah, and I told him that you were on there.
Yeah, Geraldo still
and,
sees him all the time.
Oh, Geraldo is. You know he's liberal.
He's a
Or he, you know, he likes Trump because they're both from New York.
They're friends.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I put Stephanie down as a merchant treatment cleaning. Is that okay? I wasn't sure if you wanted that or not. Okay, so, yeah, and he goes, another? Have you been drinking water?
Yes, I have. Oh, you mean because this is yours.
Yes. I'll get you another one.
I think she might.
I don't, she probably doesn't, but I'll.
Here.
Okay.
So
do you want me to bring you up another one?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I just know it asked me if you've been drinking.
You guys do stuff.
Oh, no, I haven't driven. No liquor.
Oh, no. There's water. We're doing one at the bridge.
Really?
No, but
What did they test up there? You must see higher travel checks.
I did double check it. Sometimes when I flew to Europe, and I remember I did the IV, bounced me right back.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, and they set aside that we levels.
Excellent. So, 230 or 2? Okay. And then also,
Really allowed for
on
any.
another question. And I know, I'm hitting it hard, but.
No, that's levels, coffee is. Coffee, do you want a coffee? Anybody else want coffee?
No, I'm good. I had some
Mark, are
earlier.
you good
I'm
on
good.
coffee?
I'd like some, whenever you come back up.
Well, I'm coming back up. Tom wants one. Do you want it in this?
Like I said, I tested before I bought it. Low.
Yeah.
But I tested it a couple years later.
For less than $800 to test
I know
and do an inspection on a property.
I know they did. But there's no way it can jump from less than 3 to 33.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Fix It 24/7. They do that $39 check, okay? And then today George emailed me and said the next 15, and it's going to be $59 because, Tom, literally we're spending an average of an hour and a half to 2 hours at each house. And I said, well, here's what I think. If you do 59, people are going to wait till it goes back down to 39 because you know someday you're going to go back to 39. And normally it's more than $150 in value, more than $150, truly, if you see how they take apart everything. So we went back and forth, and I said, look, let's do 39 and stick with 39. I mean, we have very frank discussions with our sponsors. We love them. And George I've known for 30 years. Now, Fix It 24/7 is a fast-growing company because of the stellar service. Check out their reviews. I encourage you to check out their reviews at referralist.com and then all over, Yelp and everywhere. They are proud. They will come for $39, only the next 15 people, $39, clean and check your furnace. Remember, a furnace check and all of that doesn't mean anything. You ask people when they come, are you going to clean it and are you going to make adjustments without charging me? Because some will get there and say, okay, we checked it, but you need an adjustment or you need cleaning. Get it all for $39. And I mean they take out the squirrel cage, they take out the burners. To the extent they can, they disassemble, clean every component, put it back together. It's literally reconditioned. 720-526-3939. Only the next 15 people. And I encourage you to call me, positive or negative, on anything you hear on this show, including this deal for $39. I want you to observe them. 720-526-3939. Okay, we've been having a discussion about mold and mold mitigation. If you have any questions, you can call. And we also have, because we have Mold Check with us, we also have Absolute Radon Safety with us. I have both of these people here because they take the mystery out of things that have been scaring the hell out of people and killing real estate deals. Okay? And I don't want that to scare you. We have more comments on this deal with the kid and the car, but I'm going to go to Steve because he's been waiting a long time. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Good, man. What's happening?
So last Sunday, or after Sunday, in the
okay, hold on. Your phone. You've been waiting, and I'm not going to disconnect, but your phone is literally chopping up. So
okay,
go ahead now. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yep. So about a week and a half ago,
yes,
that great big snowstorm we had
right
on Sunday.
Got you.
I had my wife, my son, and his girlfriend in the truck, taking her home on I-70.
Yeah.
And it's one of those situations where, you know, they just plow the road, so there's not really lanes, anything.
Did you get in an accident?
I did. So what happened?
Who hit who?
A truck trying to between another vehicle and hit out of my truck.
A truck. And so what is your question about the accident?
Well, my question is this. And just kept going. So
God almighty. Are you somewhere we can call you and reestablish contact? Steve, you've waited long enough. I promise you I will take you. Suzanne, we got to do something about the line. So see if there's a landline, or if he can get somewhere, and I'll call him right. You will call him. Make sure you get his number. Ray's got a comment on the situation. Here's basically in a nutshell. The kid takes Mark's daughter out, and around 9:30 they call and say, she calls mom and says he feels uncomfortable driving in the snow. Can Dad come pick us up, or can someone pick us up? And Mark was upset, first that she called, second that he didn't feel like driving, and he thought that was wussy for an 18-year-old guy. And also, he thought maybe it was an excuse and they were playing him. Ray, here's what I said. I want to make this clear.
I want to make something clear, too.
I want to make this clear. If the guy was truly uncomfortable driving in that weather, I applaud him for doing what he did and having her call to keep it safe. What did you want to say?
Well, I want to say this about the kid himself. I actually like him.
Right.
So it's not like I want to murder him. I think just because he's dating my daughter puts a lot of pressure on him. So you know, if he hears this, I don't want him to take it wrong.
No.
It just irritated me. I have had a talk with him before.
All right. So go ahead, Ray. What's your comment?
Hey, my comment is Mark raised her probably very well.
Yes, I can attest to that.
With that, natural selection is going to take course. She's going to let the guy slide away someday in the near future.
You know, he brings...
What does that mean?
No, I'll tell you what he means. And Eric is a very smart man. I got to say something about my daughter.
It's Ray on.
Or Ray. I got to say something about my daughter.
Judgment.
That is so impressive, it's unbelievable. She dated a guy a while back, less than a year ago, and I'm not going to say the kid's name. The kid had no initiative of anything. He wasn't looking for school. He wasn't... She picked up on it so quick and dumped him so fast, and she actually came up to Suzanne and I and made a comment like, man, he didn't want to get a job. He was over 16. He didn't have a job. You know, my brother works. Right. I want to work as soon as I can, and blah, blah, blah. And he's just not the guy for me. So this guy is right. That's what he means by selection.
Now, Ray, is that what you mean, that she picked the right boyfriend, so we should trust him?
Either way, it'll work out, or she'll dump him.
Yep.
Because he doesn't meet her standards, which Mark raised her. Mark and Suzanne put her to the test.
So trust him a little, and I agree. Eric, what is your comment? Go ahead, Eric.
I think it's more about integrity. You know, he needs to step up and just say, hey, you know, if I'm uncomfortable driving, I'm going to be the one, because I'm the man, and call Mark and say, hey, you know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, that part didn't bother me as much.
Home.
Yeah, people've made some comments,
Eric,
so I could be intimidating.
But Eric, so your point, point is,
even if you're intimidating, you look him in the eye and you say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't get your daughter home in time, and I'm afraid to drive in the snow. But on the other hand, when have you ever heard of an 18-year-old being afraid or shy about doing anything?
I don't know. That's the part, Eric. We hear you, and perhaps he should have called. I don't have a problem with Addie calling Suzanne saying, you know, and I know why Addie did that. She thought Dad was going to say, what do you mean you're late already?
Dad would have.
I know, Mark. So obviously she wanted to call Suzanne, and Suzanne thought it was fine, and
Suzanne wasn't nearly as irritated as me, but that night she was definitely irritated this was going down.
Okay. Martha, what's going on with you, Martha?
Yeah, hi, Tom.
What's happening?
I've got, I emailed you guys this morning. I've got a business in Longmont. We're a storage facility, and we had that, 2 lines. One was a 303 area code that was voice only that switched over to a 970 number. That's how it was set up when the guy built the place.
But can we get to the problem with CenturyLink? Because we do have someone there, I think. I think we still do. Suzanne, do we still have like an angel there that might be able to help us?
I hope so.
She's on the phone. So what is the problem, Martha? If you had
to I canceled the 970 number because we want to take the 303 number, transfer it to a cell.
Yeah, that part doesn't matter, but whatever. 970 was canceled.
They every time I call my cell phone company, they call and they tell me that there's a freeze on the 303 number. I call CenturyLink. They said on Monday I had no calls. I cannot get calls now.
Wait, is this a landline we're talking about or not?
It is. I'm trying to go from a landline to a cell.
Well, what do you mean trying? You just canceled the landline.
Well, they told me that they wanted to grab the one landline while it was still active.
I don't understand. Because you want to keep the number.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a business number.
Let me get this straight. You want to keep a number and make it mobile, and then you want to cancel a landline.
And I've canceled the landline. These two were both coming in.
I understand. Did they port the number over to your mobile as requested?
They can't because there's a freeze on it.
Why is there a freeze on it?
CenturyLink won't tell me. They just keep giving me confirmation numbers and say it's going to be done now within 48 hours, and I can't get calls.
If you go to another carrier, which you shouldn't have CenturyLink, and I better hold on, because, you know, Brutus, he's a big guy, and he's about to come in here because I have really been late on these spots, and he's saying, look, Tom, you know, you got out of town a few days, and you stop doing commercials. Anyway, One Clear Choice Garage Doors, these guys are the best. $333 to get an opener in your home that's Wi-Fi compatible, battery backup, time to close feature. Great people. They also do the Martino inspections for you free of charge with adjustments and hinge bolt tightening and lubrication. If you mention Martino, they're good people for garage doors and openers. OneClearChoiceDoors.com, 303-565-6409.
It's Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. With Ross Kaminsky mornings, Michael Brown afternoons, KHO.
You know, so many people call me when they're injured and they say, Tom, why do my spots sound like they're John Fuller has seen all kinds of cases on personal injury, and he can give you an honest assessment of that case. Personal injury is nothing to fool around about.
Well, it sounds better than that tin can one. That's the one that sounds like you're in tin can.
You need someone who will fight for you. If it's someone else's fault, you should be paid. I mean, after all, if you broke someone's window at a house or you ruined their car, they expect you to pay for it. It's not something you can ever do on your own. So if you have a serious case, John Fuller will tell you and fight for you. 303-597-4500. Here's the deal. Don't let someone get away with it if they've injured you and you have all kinds of losses. You can't work. You have problems as a result. His website, johnrfuller.com. johnrfuller.com. 303-597-4500.
Dixie, when she called about the rug, you should have asked her if her cat started talking again.
Looking
Now,
for
that
ways
was
to
the
save on
one.
your Medicare Part D copay?
Oh, that's the one that got Clint. Clint couldn't even keep a straight face when he
Walgreens has a preferred network pharmacy with many plans nationwide, which
That
could mean
was,
lower copays for you.
cat one.
Bring your prescriptions to a Walgreens. Trusted since 1901. Walgreens and now Rite Aid featuring a Walgreens pharmacy.
Wait a minute,
is a
are those
pharmacy
muffins?
with United Healthcare, Humana, and Cigna HealthSpring. Walgreens participates.
Break 'em out.
See Walgreens.com/.
We got coffee, break 'em out.
You heard that thousands of people
What?
want to do the second home. Companies like
What about muffin tops? Only muffin tops. I want muffin tops only.
Every time she comes, she brings food, man.
Muffin tops, remember that? And then they had to get rid of the other ones?
The stumps.
The stumps. And were they turning into a werewolf too? Was that the one?
No, that's
You can easily
Kramer had the Peterson tour bus, and he had to try to dump the stumps.
But when were they turning into werewolves?
That was Jerry because he had shaved his chest, and then he was riding the bus.
And it
and
was
he got
itchy.
so late,
So
got itchy.
I like how they coupled themes. There was one show. I didn't realize these three themes were all in one show. Like they were three separate themes. Because, and I was watching it the other day, and I said, holy shit, I didn't realize all three of them were in this one show. I can't think of
American financing. They're at 303.
Is it running steady?
That's 303-695-7000 or online at American
And maybe when you get a glitch in there, but you do got to just
Well, but
start
here,
it again.
if all the power was going out and the lights down there, that would have killed us instantly.
You would have thought, or maybe it was just like enough to just screw it up there.
Maybe it's a spike,
Live your life
not a loss.
with the peace of mind that you can smile without embarrassment and that your mouth is healthy. At
It looks like the reboot better though.
Where's Clintopedia?
to my office for a
He's
free
sick.
consultation where you can find out for yourself your confidence.
Really?
Is it something from his medication?
Yeah, he's having trouble with his
We can handle
diabetes
all of your dental care in one
and the medication.
And then he had hurt his back over the weekend on the couch.
God
If you
almighty,
feel
it's
safe
health
with
wrong.
Versus Dental, it's
He shouldn't be left on the
place you
couch,
need
is what he
to
should.
get the care you need. Is the condition of your mouth?
Tom was inquiring about the muffins. I'll take one.
Most of your cookies.
Oh my God, I love this stuff.
So when you're ready to buy a new
I've been hitting the Girl Scout cookies too much lately myself. So.
car buying.
You very muffin.
You make them all, right?
I don't make the mix.
Well, of course. Do you like bacon?
I do, yeah.
Actually, Matt from Compass is really a big Seinfeld fan too. Matt yesterday from Compass.
Oh God, everybody is. Everybody is.
Well,
no, who hates him? Drew.
Drew hates the Eagles. How do you hate the Eagles?
Everybody wanted the Eagles to win. It was crazy.
No. Eagles, the band.
Oh, thanks, the Eagles.
The band?
Yeah.
They're just so easy going.
They're a good band. You hate them.
They're totally.
Don't they come with course field
Are they really?
Yeah, with Jimmy Butler.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Wink and wink, our bankruptcy attorneys, I hope you never need. And I really mean that. I hope you don't. But they do give a fresh start in a divorce, a death. Maybe you lost your job, unemployment. Sometimes you're foolish. Listen, here's the deal. They don't judge you. People do have a tendency to judge, what's a good bankruptcy, what's a bad one. I personally have my own feelings on that, and you just, listen, if you're in that position and you want to talk to someone, winkandwink.com, Mike or Gigi, 303-410-1720, 303-410-1720. And, of course, feel free to call us. We have advice on all kinds of things, having vast experience in those areas.
Did you see that car vending machine?
Now, can we post
on
that?
Alibaba?
Can we share that to our Facebook page?
Yeah, I'll send it to Dan.
Okay.
It's incredible.
They are experimenting. It's more than experimenting. Is it in operation?
Yes. In China.
A car vending machine put out by Ford and Alibaba. It's literally a rack of cars, and it's going to take the place of a dealership. You select a car
on an app or a kiosk right there,
and you first qualify, you select, you drive, and then if you buy, they arrange the whole thing. I just don't know what prevents somebody from just putting in false information and taking a car.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm sure they have certain safeguards. They might have GPS stuff they can disable the car. You know what? That's what it is, I'll bet.
Think of what we're talking about, though. We're talking about taking the middleman or the dealer, which are nationwide in this country.
We're talking about a lot of people are out of that loop.
Out of the loop. Now you're talking manufacturer, sale.
Right. Martha, okay, let's get right to this. You had 2 phone numbers, and they were both landlines. Is that correct?
Yes.
You wanted to port one number to your cell phone so you guys could travel and cancel the other. You were able to cancel one number, but the other one you wanted to port to your cell phone, they said, had a freeze on it, and when there's a freeze on a number, it can't be ported. Now, what I know is, first of all, CenturyLink, there's no other way to put it. They're a dinosaur, and they're a bad company when it comes to cell phones or anything. I wouldn't use them. Cell phones especially, there are so many great cell phone companies out there. I don't know why you wouldn't go to a cell phone company and say, get me this number, and let them do all the porting.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, what cell phone company?
I'm going through T-Mobile.
Okay, good.
CenturyLink doesn't do cell phones anymore.
Oh, okay. T-Mobile should be able to port that for you. And I don't know why there's a freeze. There could be an unpaid bill. There could be some last minute. Why? And CenturyLink cannot tell you why there is a freeze.
Correct.
This is ridiculous. So there is a freeze, and when you ask them, what do they say? If you call and say, what will they say? If you say, why is there a freeze on my phone?
They tell me that there is a freeze on the account.
Because?
They didn't give me a reason why. It was supposed to be lifted this morning, so for 2 days I have not gotten calls.
Is the account fully paid?
Yeah, absolutely.
Suzanne, do we still have a CenturyLink person on the inside?
I believe so, Tom.
Okay, this is a very simple problem. She has a number she wants to use for her cell phone, and they have a freeze on it. Let's send it to this person. Martha, hold on. Suzanne will talk to you. 303-713-TALK. This one guy called and said, the kids should listen to the weather report, and if it's going to be bad weather, take that into consideration. Stan has a comment, and this is the last comment on this topic. Go ahead, Stan.
Well, knowing what we know about it so far, knowing that he knew what the weather was going to be, and knowing that he's been late before, I'm thinking this is all just a story to get out of trouble for being late again.
It could be, and that's what was bothering Mark. It could be.
Yeah, I totally agree with him. That's what happened.
In that scenario, though, I'm upset with her too, not just him.
But in the larger sense, though, if the kid was, Stan, if he truly was nervous driving in that, well, he hung up. But okay, in the larger sense, then if he that's the point. You don't know. You don't know if they were just playing him or if it was true. But if he did truly feel uncomfortable, I think the right thing is to admit it. Olivia, what's happening?
Yes.
What's going on, Olivia?
Well, I was hoping to talk to you about this case that my kids have going on in Wells County.
Your kids?
Yes.
Are they minors? You're talking about your children?
So actually, what I mean by that is that there's a child abuse case involving their father and one of the kids going on down there.
All right. So Olivia, how are you involved? Are you the grandma?
I'm the mother.
Oh, you're the mom. Okay. So your children and you live together?
Yes, the children live with me.
And the father, the biological father, where he doesn't live with you, obviously.
Right.
And you are pressing charges, or someone else is?
Well, the district attorney in Weld County is pressing charges.
Okay. And who reported the child abuse?
Well, I took her to the doctor because of the bruises.
Okay, so
and the doctor
Olivia,
reported it.
The doctor reported it. Why didn't you report it?
Well, because in the past, when I report something, I don't get a call back from.
Wait, but did you know abuse was going on by your ex-husband?
I didn't know that was going on until I got her home, but he's very abusive.
How old is she?
She's 8.
And did she tell you she's being beaten by Dad?
Yeah, she told me that she got a spanking. But
just
she
a
came
spank,
home bruised.
but it was bruised. Okay, hold on. This gets really sickening. We'll talk to you. Okay, I know you held a while, and we will definitely get to the bottom of that for sure. Genesis Total Exteriors. If you're looking for a contractor that's not going to take money and run, if you're looking for someone you can trust with your insurance settlement for hail damage, he can do it all, from the roof to the fences to the siding. He also has solar windows that generate electricity into the grid and earn credits and pay for themselves over years, even if you don't have a solar system. And of course, everything in between when it comes to home remodeling. Genesis Total Exteriors.com. He also does interiors. 303-679-8509.
From the Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
Travel on the metro area, your freeway system in pretty good shape right now. Earlier crash, southbound I-25 near Park Avenue, that's gone. Traffic flow back up to speed on that.
Oh, were you?
Downtown, though, south by 70.
They're pretty. Oh, you're on Wednesday.
Oh, today is Wednesday. God, am I out?
Yeah, but Wednesday might be very close to Monday. You might have lucked out.
No, I didn't, but it's okay. I can make up for it.
I think the three that
No,
are...
I can make up for it. I mean, oh, man.
Hours a low 28. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a tad warmer, a high near 52.
This for,
right now,
yeah. So I don't have to do all right. I already did.
6:30.
So here's Tom or anybody here. What do you think the import tariff is on cars from the U.S. to China?
22 to 30%.
No, you told me. But is that, and we
What is it
import
this way?
2.5%.
2.5%. So what people are saying about the tariff from China, wow, what a,
They
plus they
doing
steal
this
our
20, 30 years ago.
That's why they had to cut the dealership out just to sell
Well,
Ford.
I'll bet you that's what put it, really started thinking on that and stuff, because they couldn't afford pardon, So China's really, they really are. Steal patents, intellectual property.
You know, Frank, what I love is that Ideal Home Loans is a mortgage company, but helping home buyers. And in this market, we need all the help we can get. And all they have to do is log on to idealhomeloans.com, and I'm telling you, it's amazing, this home scouting report. And you even have something to help new home buyers get
I sound like Mickey Mouse.
Idealhomeloans.com for your next Ideal Home Loan, 303-867-7000. Also on my referral list at referrallist.com.
If you're car shopping, you've probably heard terms like MSRP, invoice, list price, or dealer price. What do they mean, though? It's enough to confuse anybody. Hey, I'm Robin Hart, introducing True Price from True Car. It's a price that actually does mean something because it is the exact price that you'll pay for the car that you want, including fees and accessories. Best of all, you'll know if your True Price is competitive because True Car shows what other people pay for that same car that you want. So when you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit True Car to enjoy a more confident car buying experience.
Being accused of a crime can ruin your life. Get help with highly respected, skilled trial attorney.
Oh my God! Wait till I tell you the response from Frontier Airlines.
At least we got a response.
That's 429-6200.
A good night's sleep starts with the right pillow.
They're saying it's medical.
Were you in Colorado airspace? Were you in Colorado airspace?
I don't think it matters. No, that doesn't matter. It's a federal. It's illegal on an airplane. No matter what.
It's illegal bringing it through the airport.
I don't know how he got it on board.
Especially as a vapor. Did you see what they were doing? Was it vape?
It was about like this size.
Also, it's a pen.
My father said years ago, your satisfaction is our business.
And they weren't hiding it. They were passing it around.
See, that's what's amazing. The brazen.
They passed it to, actually, they passed it behind too. They did 3 rows.
So were you angry because they didn't pass it to you?
You know what? Here's the deal. It was really stinking up the area.
No, I agree.
They were right across from me, right? But they're all having a good time. They weren't being obnoxious. They were nice guys. So, but I felt like, guys, this sucks, man. This stinks, right?
Well, they had to be smoking a lot because those things don't smell, as strong as like the regular stuff. But
well, it doesn't smell like smoke, but
you can still smell it though. Yeah, absolutely. How many guys were there?
There were 4 of them, so we'll see. There were 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 rows. There was a center seat empty, and then 2 people behind them weren't part of them, but they passed them. And the 2 guys on the end were together, then these 2 guys were separate, but they were all talking, and then he takes it out and starts passing it around. And then they had wine, and then they hit the roads after that. You know that, right? They drove home.
Yep.
If you want a brand new custom home, you need the Hall Company. Whether you want a 1,500 square foot home or 15,000 square feet, the Hall Company will help you buy the land, design the home, and build it. Visit them at
We're done with comments on the Addy thing.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. The Raleigh House has a line that you can get information on this helpline about anything having to do with addiction. If you or a loved one or anyone in your circle of friends or family have an issue, you can ask any question you want about treatment. The Raleigh House is a treatment facility. They have numerous locations in the Denver metro area, and they're wonderful. But this is not to sell you on them when you call. It's not. It is to inform you on anything: cost, insurance, methods, modalities, what's available out there, free programs, scholarships, whatever you need to know. What do I look for? How do I know? How is it bad? What about this addiction? Painkillers, alcohol, prescription drugs of any kind, meth, cocaine, whatever it is. It's a safe place and confidential to just let all the cards on the table and completely open up and get help. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. So Olivia, she said that she has her daughter who has bruises. The doctor reported child abuse. Doctors are obligated to, teachers are obligated to, and really you should have, Olivia. Why was your daughter going to the doctor? Was it for the bruising?
Yes.
So you
so that I had
knew.
it documented.
Okay, okay, so you weren't about to report it. You wanted to get it documented.
Yes.
Okay. Is this your only child?
No, I have 3 other children.
Are these 3 from this man?
2 of them are.
Does he... Okay, 2 of the 3. So you have 3 children with him.
Yes.
Does he abuse all of them?
He does. This is the first time that there's been significant bruises. But I have taken them to the doctor a couple of times and also made police reports.
Okay. What, did he ever get arrested?
He did not get arrested, but he received a summons for court.
Okay. When do they go to court? When do you go to court?
He's taking this case to trial in Weld County, and his trial is in June.
So he wouldn't make a deal. Does he have an attorney?
He does have an attorney there. The district attorney is not really willing to make too much of a deal for him. So.
What do you mean? You don't think they're taking it seriously?
Oh, no, I know that they are, but because of the details of the case, the district attorney is only willing to drop it down one class.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So what are you calling about?
Well, the problem that I'm having now is that social services they interviewed his household and my household.
Okay.
There was a forensic interview, but they didn't put any sort of protection in place for the kids, and he went out and filed in our county where we live for full custody and filed a kidnapping prevention on me. That was
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Does he still get visitation while he's under investigation?
Yes, he's still getting visitation.
Wait, this is impossible. Hold on a second. Just hold on.
Hear that last part.
One of the
He's getting visitation while
He's trying to get full custody.
That does not make sense to me.
Not if they actually have a doctor saying there is bruises and stuff.
Hence the name.
Whether they gotta see who did it.
She called before.
I kind of remember like
something similar.
We'll take care of whatever your insurance wants to take care of. When it comes to roofing,
sure it'd be supervised visits if he gets anything.
Okay, this is the part where I say Pro Auto Care at 1215 is the only one I have left, and then Brutus says, wait, I forgot to put one down.
How dare you?
Just then,
Did you watch Roseanne last night?
And by the way, so you really loved it, huh?
Mark,
it was really that good?
It's one of my favorite shows from back in the day.
Oh, see, I never watched it before, so maybe that's why.
God, it's such the blue-collar household. It reminds me a lot of my mother's family. I mean, it really just hits home in so many ways.
303-761-6400. Excel Roofing.
ABC?
4, 7, or 9.
I knew I heard something about it coming back.
Yeah, it was
a pretty big event.
I will. At first, they weren't. I've seen that show. I've been watching the reruns leading up to it, and they were so gelled 10 years ago. You know, once you work with.
Not on there now.
The only one I didn't see would be the one girl's boyfriend, Mark, who she
The older
ran
daughter is pretty.
Becky was played by 2 different girls over the years. Both of them were on it. One of them is going to be a surrogate mother, and then the other one is going to be the surrogate.
But wait a minute.
Or no, a surrogate mother, the mother.
Playing one character, though.
On Roseanne, for 1 or 2 seasons, one of the Beckys went away. And they just replaced her, and they didn't even say anything about it. It was kind of a funny thing.
When they replaced her, and now they're both back.
Now they're both back. One is going to be the surrogate for the other. They don't explain it like, they just have the same cast.
But there's only one Becky.
Yeah, just like how they explained he wasn't dead in the last episode. He was dead. He comes out and goes, well, everybody, I don't know why everybody thought I was dead. I never died. But they didn't gel. Can you imagine being on like Seinfeld if you watch the very first episode and watch one of the later ones?
The last one was jail.
Well, not that one, but necessarily, but they just gelled so good as a cast. They've been together for so many years. So they didn't gel. It's going to take a little bit to
What do you
get
mean?
back.
It felt awkward?
Yeah, to me it even looked awkward, and it felt awkward if you were there. They probably felt a little awkward.
Goodman became quite a movie star.
He's unbelievable.
He is good.
He plays a lot of characters.
Played Babe Ruth.
But he does
My
amazing characters.
my favorite one is called Cloverleaf that he's done. It's somewhat recent. He's got he's got two people in his basement, but it's not a basement, it's this deep underground bomb shelter. And they wake up, and he's like, oh, I saved your life, you were in a car accident. And then eventually you start thinking he's lying. He's keeping them kidnapped. He says you can't leave because there's aliens out there, so don't try to escape or you could die. And the whole, I won't tell you the end.
No, I want to
Cloverleaf.
Sounds like what's her name when she kept that writer. Remember that? She broke her leg.
Oh, yeah. Stephen King. Stephen King.
Bates was the lady Bates. Her name was Bates. Kathy Bates.
That was creepy, but it was called. Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah.
It's one of Stephen King's big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It was
She
broke his ankles. His ankles.
That hurt.
With the sledgehammer. Both of them.
She took the thing. Put that board in between.
Yeah, that's tough to watch.
It was so
Misery.
Misery.
Yeah, didn't she get an Academy Award for that one?
Probably.
I think so. That was brutal.
You'd like Cloverfield, though. It's really good. And John Goodman plays
Mark,
it.
did you ever see The Room?
I know I've seen
Now
it.
there's two movies named The Room, but The Room I want to is the one about the mom and the boy held in a room. It's called.
Oh, I saw that, Behind the House.
It's called Room.
Yes, Behind the House. Creepy, and it was actually a true story. She raised her kid in this shack or this shed.
Yeah, and then she says he died, he got sick, and she wraps him up in that carpet, so he takes them to get rid of the body.
Oh, that's right, and he wasn't alive. Of course, he was alive, and gets out. And he had no idea it was his first time in the world. What a brave little kid. Can you believe that really happened?
Well, that's a true story.
The other one they didn't do a movie off of, but that lady that had, she was being held hostage in that house forever. And finally she ran next door and beat on the neighbor's door, but she'd been there since she was kidnapped when she was like 7 or 8 and she was like 30. Oh, it was 3 women. One was mentally...
That is hard to believe things like that go on.
And he lived like in a, like a regular neighborhood for those many years.
You wonder, this is what makes me depressed sometimes, when you think about how many things are going on right now.
Right now, exactly. I think that same thing.
Just scary in this country, but then think of what goes on in other countries. Man.
Exactly. Here the guys are getting ready to get the head chopped off.
They still haven't found most of those girls. I think it was in North Africa.
No. It was like.
Was it South Africa?
Is that the school?
The whole school. They little kids too.
3669. The only way
When they sell them into the sex trafficking or make them slaves or who knows what they do to them.
3669. 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669.
Did you see that family that died in Playa del Carmen last week? They rented a house, and the gas they think was leaking from the stove. Every one of them dead that night. First night they were there. The last picture was they had like a 10-year-old boy. He's by the beach, and he snapshots or whatever they call it, a picture of his feet in the ocean.
Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints, and making your life just a little easier. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Yes, you won't do any better than Frank. We solve problems on this show. We do. Recovering millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. Welcome. We love what we do here. We invite feedback. We invite questions. If you want to know what happened with follow-ups, let us know. If you go to sleazbrigade.com, you'll see the worst of the worst. And, of course, for the best, referralist.com. And as I said, this hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. You know, I always say if you're looking to buy or sell, and that's true. He has teams to help you buy and help you sell, and he oversees every single deal. No one gives the level of service of Frank. And you'll know that. You'll almost think, how does he do this? I'm the only customer, right? They clean your home and stage your home and proactively market your home to a degree you've never seen before. 303-920-1622. 920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. So, we left off with a very serious problem, and I don't understand this. We'll go right to it, and then we'll talk to our guest, because we do have a question for one of our guests. So, Ray, hang on there. And then we'll go to Henry. Olivia, I don't understand. You say there are abuse charges pending against your ex-husband or the father of your children. There are abuse charges literally pending. An investigation is going on right now. And during this investigation, your ex, the biological father, still has visitation.
Yes.
How often does he see them?
He gets 2 weekends, and then I get 1 weekend, and I have them during the week.
Wait a minute. So does he get 2 weekends in a row?
Yes.
He gets 2 weekends, and then you get him during the week, and then you get him the following weekend. Then it goes back to the rotation. But what I don't understand is, does he get unsupervised?
He does.
Well, how is this possible? If there is bruising and a doctor reported abuse, how is it possible that he is getting unsupervised visitation?
I filed for a restriction of parenting on him down here to try and get supervised visits, because social services has not done anything.
In Weld County. Are they really that far behind in Weld County?
It appears so.
Well, we found corruption in Weld County with Tom Parco up there with the Planning Commission. Yeah, Weld County is a very, very screwed up county. So, my question to you is, what was the response when you brought up that he has... In fact, we need to call them. We need to call them. This is ridiculous. Now, Suzanne, can you get Daft to call, please?
Yeah, I can,
I mean, sick her on this one. This is ridiculous. Weld County Social Services is allowing this man to see the children unsupervised with a pending abuse case against him with bruising. Is that true?
Yes.
When is the court date?
The trial is June 11th, I believe.
Did the doctor actually say that it was bruising from the father?
Yes, she questioned my daughter, and my daughter told her what happened.
This is crazy.
And they had forensic interviews.
This is crazy.
Okay,
yes.
When did he file a motion for custody?
He filed the motion. This is from, he filed it in August.
Okay, when were let's take, what was the earliest thing chronologically? The filing or the abuse charges?
The abuse charges would have been the earliest thing. Social services.
When did the abuse? When were the abuse charges lodged? When?
Beginning of August.
Okay, so in August of 2017, he had abuse charges, right?
Correct.
And then he filed after that. In August of 2017, he filed for custody, right?
For full custody, and then I withheld them on one visit because I was waiting for social services.
And kidnapping. Nothing happened with the kidnapping, right? Nothing happened with
nothing happened with that.
All right. But the custody hearing, has that ever taken place?
We've pushed it out a little bit because we were waiting to see what happened on his criminal charge, but because social services didn't put any protection in place, I filed for a restriction of his parenting time to supervise.
When?
And I lost.
Wait a minute. You filed to have supervised visits and you lost?
I lost.
Did you have an attorney?
Social services. I did have an attorney.
And did he have an attorney?
He did.
And the judge ruled that he should continue with unsupervised visits.
Yes.
So if we call social services, that's what they're going to tell us, that the judge ruled it. So it's not their fault. Were they on your side?
Social services?
Yeah, during the court case, were they testifying for or against? Were they saying he should not have supervised time, or were they saying it's okay?
Social services wasn't even there.
They did not wait a minute. The judge did not ask a guardian or anyone from social services to weigh in on this case?
No.
What? Why didn't your attorney ask them? There's something wrong. Well, no, Olivia, you do have to have an idea. You have responsibility. You can tell your attorney. Wouldn't it be logical to have someone from social services at a hearing when they are witness to abuse? Wouldn't you say that would be a good thing to have in your corner?
I do think that.
Then why didn't you tell your attorney that? Why didn't you say to your attorney, we need to have someone from social services here?
Well, I talked to him about it, and he told me to get a hold of social services, and they have not returned one single phone call or message to me.
Okay, so did the judge hear in that hearing for unsupervised visitation? You're the one that asked for supervised. Social services didn't even ask for it. Weld County Social Services, oh my God, they have to be the biggest bunch of morons I've ever heard of. So you had to ask for supervised visitation. Did the judge hear in that hearing about the abuse charge?
She did.
And what did she say?
She said that our case doesn't reach the law of needing the level
of abuse. So it's okay if he just abuses her a little, the judge said.
I mean, that's basically what she implied. I submitted photographs to her and...
Can you send us photographs?
The doctor's report. Oh, yes, I can do that.
Are you the legal guardian of that child? Or do you have joint? Okay. Do you have decision-making?
I don't have full decision-making. He has joint decision-making.
Then you can't send us pictures. Okay.
Oh.
No. Because you can't give us permission.
Okay.
Not alone. So, and I doubt he's going to want photographs of the bruises he caused. So, we need to have Daphne look into this. This is right up her alley. She'll go at it like a pit bull.
Do you think there's something going on here?
It doesn't sound right, Mark. I mean, come on.
The puzzle pieces aren't
Olivia,
fitting.
You're not a suspect in this, are you?
No.
There is a pending charge. Why, if it happened in August, we're not getting a hearing until now? Or June 11th?
We haven't even begun with the custody. Oh, he's pushed it out about 3 times.
Does he have a good attorney? I mean, how does he afford an attorney? Does he work? Is he good? Does he have...
As far as I know, he's not working. His child support comes in occasionally or late.
How can he afford an attorney?
I have no idea. I assume his girlfriend is paying the attorney.
He has a girlfriend, you think, who works and takes care of him?
Yes, he moved in with a woman.
Okay.
And her kids. Tom, you sure she can't send us the photos? I mean...
She can't make that decision. As of minors, she could, if she was the sole decision maker, she could agree to release those photos. But because her husband has joint decision making, then we would have to have his permission too, or we're in very big trouble. We can't.
Okay.
We have to have the decision maker. When it comes to a minor, the parents can make that, can do that. But they have to be in concert. And if you're divorced, there's usually a decision maker. Joint decision making is rare. There's usually one or the other. So, Olivia,
yeah.
I will look into it. I don't understand why you lost a request for supervised visitation. Is your daughter... What? Go ahead. He got what?
He got his girlfriend to get up there on the stand.
Yes.
During the trial, the test trial.
And do what?
And testify that she was there that day and nothing happened. And,
are they saying you did the bruising?
No, they're saying that it's diaper rash.
Okay. Okay. On an 8-year-old?
Yeah, on an 8-year-old.
Does she wear diapers?
No, she doesn't wear diapers.
Okay.
You would think that wouldn't get over by the judge.
There's usually they err on the side of children, but in Weld County, people, I feel sorry for people living in Weld County. You have a very corrupt government, and now I think you have a corrupt social services system. There's something wrong with Weld County. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong. Whenever we have complaints about Weld County, and Tom Parco up there, he's a crook and a liar, in my opinion. They run like the mafia. The way they push that Verizon tower on these people by withholding names from mailing lists and all that lying and cheating. Tom Parco, you're a thief and a liar. And Weld County, you guys suck up there. And I wish, if Weld County residents have dirt, please send it to me, because there's something wrong in Weld County. Something smells, and it doesn't smell good. It smells like something out of the ass end. That's what it smells like. And we need help. We need help going after these people in Weld County. There's something wrong. You people should not be subjected to a government that you have in Weld County, and to the crookedness in the building and zoning departments and now in social services. This is all wrong. Now, the social services thing I'm not sure of. I'm sure of the others. That Tom Parco, that liar, that frickin' liar, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got paid on the side from Verizon or those people. And you don't hear me say that often. Normally I say, oh, come on, I'm not a conspiracy monger, that doesn't happen. No, but they colluded in Verizon. It's amazing what happened with that tower, that Verizon tower. It's amazing. When I tell you the story, in fact, I'll just recap it in 10 seconds or something when we come back. But you will be freaking amazed. Right now, Al Aramis has a Martino special for us. It's a synthetic blend oil change and a lot more, or a full synthetic, Tell us about it, Al.
Tom, what it takes to keep your cars on the road is to maintain them.
Of course it does.
One thing that is so overlooked is oil changes, Tom. Even to this day, as much as people know, they go past their intervals, and it's the one thing you can do to extend the life of your car. That's why we keep running. It's the thing you need the most of. That's why we're on the air talking. So we want to do the conventional oil change, which we use synthetic blend. That's
right.
The upgrade.
Okay.
Better filter, tire rotation, fill fluids, test your battery, do a full inspection, top all your fluids. We're doing that for $24.95, and we're doing $49.95 full synthetic on most vehicles, and that includes topping it, putting air pressure, getting everything right. Come and see us. We'll take great care of you. Been doing it for 26 years.
Of course you have, Al, and it's wonderful. How's your son doing there?
He's fantastic. He's now my assistant manager at the Denver.
Isn't that cool? And he started on the line as a mechanic, and he's SAE, isn't he, right now?
Oh, absolutely. ASC.
ASC. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That is very
that's
cool. Congratulations on that. And this is a family-owned and operated business. 303 Pro Auto, 2 locations near Evans and I-25, and near Bowles and Santa Fe, just south, right on West Church and Santa Fe. That's 303 Pro Auto.
This report is brought to you by Firestone Complete Auto.
Did they get all their vacancies filled? No. Her husband died.
Oh my God, she did? He did?
Yeah. She's still carrying on and
When
doing
did that
her.
happen?
I found out, I think yesterday, man. He died on the 5th of this month. She was supposed to be in with me Monday. It was a no-show, so I called her. You know what she said to me? She goes, I haven't even cried yet. 20 days later. We should send her on the floor. Let's send her something. Not just fire. Let's send something like maybe edible things, something that she might enjoy. Let's put that on it. Okay, how?
Head into Firestone Complete Auto Care from April 2nd.
And I said, hey, you weren't in.
By mail when you
Oh
purchase
man, my mind hasn't been there. She's talking.
Whatever
Then at the very end of the conversation,
She got assistant
she
manager?
tells me what happened.
She got assistant manager or something?
What do you mean?
How does she run that stuff? You've heard that by herself now.
Well, I'm sure each house has their own facilities. I mean, I don't know, honestly. Daph's been there. I know there's lots of people that work there.
Fort Lupton is in Weld County.
For over 30 years.
With that sex tape. Did you guys hear about that sex tape?
Oh, we gotta tell Tom the update on that, too.
These kids are nuts these days.
Well,
I know.
I know. I totally agree.
Oh my gosh.
But if you had that technology when you were a boy.
Oh yeah, it would have been going.
That's what you got to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Jeez.
See, I don't have kids, thank God. I mean, nothing
You're
against
right.
kids, but
you're right.
it's a different world then.
Oh, absolutely. The whole
We're
internet.
younger, you know.
You wouldn't need your Playboys.
Oh yeah.
You got.
I mean, I have friends with daughters where stuff is going on where I'm like, oh my gosh, and it's like, you know, it's one thing if somebody sends it to you, but when you send it, when you send it, that's, and you know, what are they going to throw 50 million kids in jail for, you know, who knows what's getting passed around out there.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, they just changed the law of some sort.
I think they're going to have to.
Do what?
I'll bet you the shooting, if they didn't have social media, they wouldn't have horror shooting.
Yeah.
I'm sure that.
Well, then why did Columbine happen?
But it was so few and far. It was so few and far between back then too, though. You didn't see it like you're seeing it now, though, either.
I'm surprised none of them have done live on Facebook and shit like that.
They will. You did get the deals of how to make the bombs and stuff on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Like the
You mean Columbine?
Combine.
Kids in Chicago a couple years ago.
It's probably added to it.
That kid, he was like
Interior Secretary of
mentally retarded, but he was, you know, addiction. But they tortured him. Remember that? They put it live on Facebook in Chicago last year,
Oh, yeah. Actually, they had that
kidnapped him
kid
for like 2-3 days or something.
And there's 4 or 5 of them kidnapped him. If I
Facebook
recall,
Live.
they were all black guys. It was a white kid.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He's
And
mentally
he
challenged.
was mentally retarded.
Today, we have absolute radon safety, talking about radon testing and mitigation. The thing I like is they take the mystery out of it. You know, testing can be as little as $20 to get you really good numbers, or you can spend more, up to $150 for a constant monitoring. And then they mitigate most problems and bring them within safe levels for just $8.99. And sometimes, very rarely, it's more, and just not much more, depending on your situation. And we have Mold Check also here, Mold Check, mymoldcheck.com, a new referral list member, and he checks for mold. And Ray has a question. Go ahead, Ray.
Hello.
Yes, Ray, what's going on?
Yes, hang on just a second. Let me turn this off.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I called you before. I have a mold problem, and I still have it.
What now? How do you know you have a mold problem?
Because you could see it, you could smell it. They came in and removed some of it, but
who's they? Do you own or rent?
I rent.
Okay, and who tested this? Who tested for the mold?
They brought some guy in, and he only tested one little section. It's in my bathroom. I called you before.
No, I understand. I understand, but they had people. Did people come in and then mitigate it? Did they have somebody come in and remove?
Yes, they had a guy come in, and then he sent his crew in.
Okay.
He took a vanity out, and they took a portion of the wall out.
Okay, well, it sounds like they made an effort, so what's going on now?
Still smells like mold, and
well, you know, mold does mold really smell? Let's ask Mold Check owner Jeff Werpy. Does mold smell, or is it just musty you're smelling?
It absolutely smells and can produce a variety of odors.
But can that be the tell-all though, just the odor?
Musty odor could definitely give you a clear idea that something's going on. Now,
but can musty be there without mold?
It can be. It can be.
So, Ray, did they usually they retest right after they do mitigation to make sure they've helped?
They didn't retest, and they only tested one little area. And I think I've got it.
You don't have to really. Do you have to test wide areas?
It all depends on the situation.
Did they do an airborne test?
He had a little gadget that he pointed at the wall.
What would that be? What would a little gadget be points at the wall?
It's a moisture meter.
Well, it could have been a moisture meter. It could have been an infrared thermal imaging camera, which
is like a moisture meter.
Yeah, you try to detect the moisture.
Hey, Ray, did they leave anything in your home to test, like trays or anything?
No, they didn't. They cut a piece
What
of
does
the wall
mold
out.
testing consist of? Why don't you tell us so I don't sound stupid? Do you have trays?
We used to use trays,
What do you
15
use
years
now?
ago.
What do you use now?
Now we typically will do air sampling, which will give you
How?
an idea. You set up a cassette with an air sampling pump. You draw air at 75 liters.
Do you do it once, or do you leave it?
We do it. It takes 5 minutes, real quick. We just draw the air in that particular area, and then we draw a control sample outdoors to compare it to.
So, and then you send it to a lab?
And then we send it to an accredited lab for
Hey,
analysis.
Ray, when, if you're concerned, how much does a test cost?
Typically $275 to do one indoor, one outdoor sample. And the outdoor air, the molds in the outdoor air change and fluctuate from day to day.
Well, why do we care about that if he's in an apartment?
Well, you need a baseline to compare that indoor sample to. That's why we always take an outdoor control sample.
So you have to pay for both?
Yes. You
So
have to
one
pay for
test in your... If we did a test in his apartment, it wouldn't tell him anything?
It would tell us exactly what he's breathing in there per cube meter
well,
of airspace.
Well, that would be important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if he's still... Ray, are you having any kind of leaks now, or what level? Are you on
the mold to begin with is what he's
I'm
asking.
I'm having to go to the doctor every week. I've got problems
yeah, but
breathing.
Ray, that doesn't mean you have mold poisoning. Okay. What it means is you're going to the doctor. What I need to know is, how did the mold begin? Was it a leak?
I had a flood. My apartment got flooded out.
Now I understand. And they didn't fix it properly. Now they did,
No.
according to them. So, what is the cheapest way he could just see if there is a problem? The cheapest way to get in there and see if he's breathing toxic or breathing mold?
Well, what I would recommend is I would come out and take a look at it and take some additional moisture readings. Ray, are you on the first level?
I'm asking, Ray, what is your situation? Do you work?
No, I'm retired.
How old are you?
I'm 67.
60. You have any kids in there, or just you alone?
Yes. I have a 6-year-old child and my wife.
And is that your child?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
What do you mean? Well, I was 51 when I had my first.
He's 61, though.
I know.
That's a little different.
So listen, Ray, listen.
Good for you.
He's 67 now. He's 67. Hey, Ray.
Yes.
Does your wife work?
No, she's not working right now.
Okay, I guess what I'm asking, let me just straight up. Jeff, what can we do for this guy as a favor? What can we do? Without going too far into your pocket, what can we do?
Sure. Well, I can.
And then I'll have you back to report.
Well, Ray, I can come out and take a look at it for you and try to determine if you're still having a leak or any kind of issue.
Where are you, Ray? Don't tell me Greeley.
No, Colorado Springs.
Ah, damn. You don't go to Springs, do you?
We typically don't for testing. We do work down there, but
I know, but
but to make
No, I don't know if I want to say. What if your next time you're down there, maybe?
Yeah, and I don't have a problem going down there.
Here's the deal, Ray. If they didn't fix it properly, I doubt they're going to do any more than they did. But I want to give you evidence in case you need to do a constructive eviction. Do you know what that is?
No.
That is.
I've been trying to get out, but I can't find a house.
We can help you, but hold on. Are you under a lease?
No, they want me to sign a new lease, but I haven't signed it.
If you want, then I'm not sure. If you're looking for another place, I'm not sure I want to put a mold check through it. If you want to stay there, or if you want a legal way to get out of a lease, but you don't need to because your lease is already expired. So I don't know if I want to do that. The only way I would send him there is if you were staying there, and so. You make your decision, but Ray, what we would do is send someone down there to check it out. And I don't mean someone, I mean Mold Check. MyMoldCheck.com. He's a good guy. He'll give you the straight up. So hang on and tell Suzanne.
If it is an apartment complex, let's say it's a big, huge multi-unit thing, just testing one, does that really tell you anything?
But there was a flood in his unit. Ray, was it just your unit where the flood was?
Yes, well, this happened when we had the big storm here.
Is it a house, by the way, or an apartment?
It's an apartment.
Did they do mitigation in other apartments?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me.
But to answer Mark's question, isn't it possible to mitigate in just one area and still not be affected by others?
Sure. And
because it's an enclosed space. I think if they just took it out in his area and he keeps it enclosed.
I was thinking more if he's on like the top floor and there was a gigantic roof leak, I mean, you could have numerous.
No, that's true.
Well, that's what I wanted to know is, Ray, where did the water come in at in your unit?
Where did it come in?
They came in my front door and flooded my whole
All right.
apartment.
So you're the basement. You're the bottom level unit.
Exterior door.
Yes, about 8 to 10 inches of water was piled up, and when I opened the door, it all came in.
It's probably how many apartments on the bottom floor?
Let's see.
More than one.
On my side, yeah, there's four apartments on my side, and then 4 on the other.
You may want to ask them if they're having problems, Ray.
Okay. Well, in the next building over, the lady that moved out of there said she had mold too.
All right. Now listen, not all mold is going to be a major concern. Again, Ray, unless this is going to do some good and you're going to stay there or you want to stay there, I don't want to just go down on a wild goose chase. You got to decide how important it is. If you're looking for another place, I would say don't sign your new lease and just go. That's what I would say. Now, Carrie, you have a comment on Weld County judges. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my niece has been going through a custody battle similar to the woman that was talking with you.
In Weld County?
Yes, in Weld County. And what happened with her, her son is almost 2 years old now, but she saw one of the magistrates. His name is Mark Gonzalez. Unbelievable. This is really unbelievable. They forced her to turn over the baby, maybe 7 months old, to have overnights with a father who has a criminal history. He's a meth and heroin user. All of this came out in the child family investigators.
And nothing, and they did nothing about it.
That's right. But this magistrate, and I really want you guys to hear this name because Magistrate Mark Gonzalez, and when she was standing in front of the magistrate, she's a single mom. They were never married. It was a boyfriend.
And?
He said to her, you know, I was raised by a single mom, and look how great I turned out. Except for the fact that the father is a meth addict. And so... Well,
I don't understand it. I mean, I don't. I'm not privy to this case, but it sounds ridiculous to me. You know, and so right now, what's the situation in that particular home? That he does have visitation is what you're saying.
Well, here's the great thing. There is a good side to this. So...
what's the good side? Could you get to it? Because we're running short of time.
Yeah. So the good side is she does have full custody. He only has 1 hour supervised visits.
Oh, okay. So, well, that's okay, right? Supervised visitation?
Yes, but it's only because of what she was doing. She caught him using drugs. She contacted the police, and that's what made the difference.
Yeah, what you're saying is Weld County Social Services and Weld County judges do not give a damn about kids, and it's sounding like that to me because we've had other cases like this where they turn a blind eye. Weld County. I mean, the place sucks from the top to bottom. I don't know what to say. I mean, it really, really sucks.
This is Denver's talk station.
What about Fort Lupton? Sexting. Oh yeah, that sexting. The judge kind of scolded. We did it Monday or Tuesday. The judge, you know what I'm talking about, the sexting one with the kid. The judge got on the cops. Good. And said you had no reason to.
Did you do that on the air?
Yeah, we did the full update. It was the kind of. Here's the problem though. Right after the update, Suzanne gets an email from them basically asking if they can sue. This is where people go off the tracks. Now they want to sue them over the Fourth Amendment.
Yeah, you're right. People do go off the tracks. They get something going their way, and then, you know, the expressions give them an inch.
Can you guys get us a free attorney to sue over the Fourth Amendment is what they email. Oh, yeah, because we have all kinds of constitutional attorneys that take on that case.
Another update, Tom, remember that one Perez and stuff, I-25 roofing?
Yeah.
You wrote that thing? She goes to trial. She's going to defend herself on the April 10th. Jury.
So you know,
It's a jury trial.
want perks they can enjoy every day.
She can defend herself.
The healthy, active office culture they're looking for.
She's going asking for $79,000.
I feel so sorry for him. Is this asshole paying an attorney?
Apparently, or they're going to settle right before or something.
We got a coach. We do.
No, I got a call
Let's
into
coach
her
Visit
for that. And then Matt was in yesterday, and the place, you know, it's just a dumpy little houses and stuff. He says some of those areas, it's right I-25 and 70, are going for $300,000.
Because of the land.
They're right, exactly.
You know, another thing that Ray can do with this situation, you can call the city inspector or building inspector, sometimes the health department. They'll come out and take a look, and they'll get on the asses of management. Say, hey, you need to check this out. Yeah.
Even though it's not code.
Well, they still are, you know, they still have to maintain a reasonable living space for these people.
Hey, Ray, you know, I don't understand. He should be come on. He should come on during the first 2 hours tomorrow, because we're not even on the air down there. Okay, all right. What are you talking about?
Restrictions and exclusions apply. Visit drivafirestone.com. You know, you've heard me talk about Willow Creek.
No, I didn't. What did I say? Oh. You're right, it does actually. You're right. Is Kerry a new comment on Weld?
So, do yourself a favor. Visit my desk, Willow Creek Dental.
I'm getting hydration at 2:30. That'll make me feel better.
What are you getting?
Hydration.
What the hell's that mean?
You know, intravenous. Because I got dehydrated. I've been
Oh,
traveling.
just from the trip.
Yeah, not only that, I didn't drink a lot of water toward the end. I was just really...
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Let's go to the phones. We got a comment on Weld County, another one. Carrie, what's going on?
Yeah, so I was talking to you about the niece, and things are much better now, but the magistrate, he really had no business even looking at the case. In fact, the father there in court admitted that he was a drug user and said he was doing rehabilitation.
Well, okay. Now, if the dude is truly trying to make his way back, you know, that's one thing. But supervised visits, that's what I would want. You know, I mean,
of course.
And it would seem logical.
But shouldn't you have to prove? Shouldn't you have to prove that you actually are doing rehabilitation?
Well, I guess. Listen, if you're saying I'm in rehab or I'm in treatment, that's
Is that enough?
Well, here's the deal. No, because here's what I'm saying. Even if you are in treatment, that doesn't mean you should have unsupervised visits. If you are an intravenous drug user or meth, amphetamines, I would say until you have a proven track record of some kind, if you have criminal charges and possession charges, I would not want these people having unsupervised. So it doesn't matter if he's in rehab or not. I mean, I think that Weld County in general, through the cases that we've handled over in the past, we find very poor judgment. I don't like Weld County so much so that I have a hidden microphone in one of the magistrate's offices, and we're going to key it up and turn it on right now because I want to know what's going on behind the scenes there. Okay, see? There you go. That says it all. You know, you can't have livestock at your office, and these people, they... All right. There you go. Or that's one of the magistrates. Let's check in on our microphone at Social Services. Another one. Okay. Let's try the Weld County Attorney. Okay. All right. Let's try the County Commissioners. There you go. Weld County. I can't tell you how much Weld County sucks. Tom Parco, I think I'm saying his name right, or Parcos, or let me summarize this. Verizon wants to put a tower up. Well, in general, it's their subcontract and all that, okay? But the entity, Verizon wants to put a tower up smack dab in the middle of a residential community. Now, there's a substation there for power, but you know how they look. They're just low fences, and they have some boxes and stuff. And you know, it's not a big deal. But they want to put next to it a tower, a big, ugly cell tower. Now, in order to do that, they have to email people within a certain radius of the tower. They have to mail, not email, but mail people. It is mandatory, because if a certain percentage objects, they can't do it. What's that percentage? I forget. 30%?
I thought it was 30%.
All right. Now, so, in order to get the mailing list, they went to Tom Parko at the county to get a mailing list. Now, remember, the requirement is to mail people, to contact people within a certain radius. It's not, the requirement is not to use the county's mailing list. It's to notify people. The day they pulled the mailing list, it left off, what, like 150 names?
A lot, Tom.
On the day they pulled the mailing list, only a few names on the outskirts of the radius were mailed. Only a few names. We verified this for sure.
Coincidentally, Tom, the HOA members that lived in the neighborhood in that radius
were not notified.
And the HOA itself wasn't notified.
Okay.
Coincidentally.
So here's what happened. They did not get people objecting, so they put the tower up. When the people right in the vicinity said, why didn't we get a say in this? Tom Parko at Weld County said, well, on the day Verizon pulled the mailing list from our computers, we had a glitch. And coincidentally, the only people notified were on the outskirts of that radius, not people most directly affected. But what's odd is, the day later, the computers were working properly. So, just the one time. Now listen to what morons, if you live in Weld County, no matter where you live, you should be outraged by this. So, and I got all the records if you want them. If you're in Weld County right now and you care, if you're a commissioner and you care, if you're a judge and you care, if you're anyone in Weld County who cares, I will turn my records over to you. On the day and the hour they pulled the mailing list, there was a glitch. And coincidentally, that glitch only happened when Verizon pulled the mailing list. So we're to believe that the people in the immediate vicinity of the tower were not notified because there was a computer glitch. But you see, the law says there must be notification, period. So for them saying, well, we didn't get the proper list, that's not an excuse. Because it doesn't say you can only depend on one list. It was obvious that if there were 50 names drawn, only 50 addresses, just looking at an aerial photograph, you can count hundreds of homes. Just logically, you would look at that list and say, there are way more than 50 people here. Why are we only mailing out 50 letters? But you see, it was a wink-wink to Tom Parko. Here, bud, maybe some dollars under the table, whatever. I'm convinced, in my mind, this is not a coincidence. That's too much of a coincidence. And that lying, thieving scumbag, Tom Parko, says in a public meeting, well, we have no control over it now. It's too late to do anything. Now, I want to ask you, if you wanted to put up a tiny little tough shed, and you violated a zoning law, and you said, well, you know, I didn't notify the people, what do you think he would have said, even after it's all built? Do you think he'd say, well, it's too late, it's already built? He'd make you tear that down so fast, your ass would be in so much trouble over a tough shed. But Verizon, nothing. Nothing. And these homeowners who scraped and saved for their money, seriously, this is a middle-class, hard-working, blue-collar neighborhood. Their dream homes turned into a nightmare overnight. That tower went up in one day. So that is the lying, thieving, Weld County Commissioners, Weld County Planners, and Tom Parco. And I hope to God you're listening, Tom, and I hope you come after me legally. Do you want to know why? Because if you do, your entire records lay open to me for discovery. So please bring it on. You see, a lot of people say, Tom, aren't you afraid of lawsuits? Here's what I say. When I go after people and I have my ducks in a row, I beg them to come after me. I beg them, because then they open up their life to me on discovery. And I'll find out if there were any big cash deposits made or any kind of vacations made by Tom Parco and his gang or his family. Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. They got their tower. They did it, in my opinion, illegally because someone had a glitch in the computers. Yep. I can't stand it because these homeowners don't have enough money because they wanted to get together and sue, and we found an attorney to do it dirt cheap, but they can't because here's the problem. The people on the outlying areas don't care, so it would be up to just a few homeowners right next to that tower to take on that financial responsibility. It is unfair. It is just unfair.
And you're going up against governmental immunity at that point.
Well, it could be. You're right. But Verizon is the one. They did not follow procedure. You know,
someone was greasing pockets somewhere. It had to be.
That's too much of a coincidence. Suzanne, what were you going to say?
So about a month and a half ago, I don't know if you remember the AT&T cell tower call we got down in the Springs.
Same thing or not?
Lady wanted help appealing that it was going up. So I had an angel who helped her appeal it. And it went through yesterday as far as the hearing, and I'll have an update tomorrow with the caller, hopefully.
All right. Thank you. That's great. Okay, more coming right up.
This report is...
God, that pisses me off, that case. Suzanne and I went up and interviewed him. It's amazing that one day they had only generated 50 names. The very next day, when they went up and they got pissed off after it was built, all the names showed up. Hundreds and hundreds of names. But and it's coincidentally that the only names generated were on the outside.
Nobody in there, yeah. Imagine that, huh? Oh, shit.
Imagine coming home and finding out literally in your backyard.
Oh, I'd be livid.
Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a tad warmer with a high near 52. Right now, mostly cloudy skies in Denver and 43. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30, K-House.
I don't care. If you second and get $60 on a Visa prepaid card by mail when you purchase a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires.
He hasn't even got the Frontier yet.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't.
There's a reason why insurance companies want to settle quickly with you after a car accident. Don't make that mistake. I'm John Fuller with Fuller Injury Law.
You guys usually in 4 days a week, or?
Why would you think 4, out of curiosity?
Well, I thought the last time when I was here initially, I thought it said something about Fridays.
If it's a vacation...
Friday's a car day. All we do is cars, for the most part.
How about this Friday, Good Friday? No. Still on, right?
Yeah, we're not on Good Friday. No, because I haven't made it. We are. Shit, I haven't put a vest in.
So briefly, what happened with the asbestos guy? When some handyman roofed out a bunch of asbestos, I didn't catch the story.
It's horrible, man.
From Channel 7.
Oh, is it? Horrible. Yeah, 7 picked it up. Hired this guy to come in. He knew there was asbestos. She knew there was. Popcorn ceiling. He scraped it. Got shit everywhere. She gets home, sees residue. She gets her kids. I think they spent one night there. Decides this isn't safe. Gets out of there. Calls a lab to come in for a tester. The house should have had between 0 and 100. And I don't know if that's parts per million. I don't know what it is. But 0 and 100, just because they had asbestos in the house that hadn't been disturbed, the level should have been between 0 and 100. Her levels of airborne was 35,000, 33,000 a day. So they're out of there. I mean, it's going to cost about $30,000 to get it clean.
But they got to throw every clothing, drapes,
all that stuff's got to go, and they're going to have to replace. I hope he's got good insurance.
It was bad.
Well, it's like with us. We can't, even any handyman out there, you're not, you can't pull more than 1 sheet of drywall in Colorado without having it tested. I don't care if the house was built last week.
How long is it? Can you test it right there, or
you send it to a lab, similar to mold. But I always refer somebody to an asbestos inspector to come out and take them, because I get hammered for 37.5 from the EPA. If I pull, You know, like I said, I don't care if the house was just put up last week.
Oh, really?
A lot of the Chinese, a lot of the mud and
Oh, the mud's got it in
the
too?
mud that was coming from China over the past 20 years, the Home Depot and all that, they found the mud and tape they found contained asbestos, you know. But, you know, there's contractors out there left and right that are ripping out drywall, but
I've done it.
you don't want to pull out more than one sheet. That's only 32 square feet, or you can, you know, chances are people
this is
under
me.
the radar.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Well, I have a problem, and I'm hoping you can help because I don't really know where to go. In November, my son James was killed in a very bad accident in Maryland, and he had a kind of a YouTube streaming service that he had supporters.
James, was your son married?
No.
And how old was he?
He was 33.
God almighty, what happened?
Well, he was known as, and a lot of your listeners will probably know this, he was known as Stobe the Hobo.
Stobe?
Stobe the Hobo. And he rode freight trains all over the country and did videos on them and streamed them on YouTube.
So he really wasn't a hobo, so to speak. I mean, he
was very well brought up, college graduate, veteran of the Coast Guard. But he got into this just in...
Did he illegally ride the, did he hop freight trains?
Yeah, it was trespass.
How cool. What's that? That's cool. I mean, that he did this, okay? I'm looking him up.
Yes, on YouTube. So the problem I'm having is people were sending money to PayPal to help support. Like he say, send me $1 for the view and something. And he was, you know, wasn't getting rich, but it was helping pay. Occasionally he'd get to a town and could stay in a motel instead of staying in the train yard. Occasionally he could take a shower and eat a meal.
So he was committed to this life. Now, as YouTubers go, it's a pretty small subscriber rate, only less than 1,000 people. I mean, which is, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, you know, some of these guys, I was thinking, you know, they have 10 and 15 million and all that. So did he get a lot of views on his stuff?
He got 20,000 views.
Yeah.
Some more, some less. I think one had 90,000.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't getting rich, but the problem is...
Well, was he making any money doing it?
Yeah, he was making some money, which is the nature of my call.
Okay.
So people were sending to PayPal. Now,
when people sent it just because they liked him, in other words, they were donating.
Yeah. Yes, they were donating.
Did he make any money from YouTube?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't... I've been in touch with PayPal now going on 3 months. I've sent them everything they've asked. They've asked for death certificates.
Right.
I've sent them. They asked for the affidavit of next of kin saying that I am the legal one to take this. I've sent it. I've sent my ID, my passport, my birth certificate.
How much are we talking?
I think they told me it's around $10,000. And PayPal simply will not do anything except give me the runaround.
Tom, I'm going to reach out to PayPal Media Relations.
Yeah, we'll reach out to him. This is...
I mean, I'm calling you because I've been back. You know, when I finally get someone on the phone, it's some android from the Philippines. Go, oh, Mr. Toby, we care so much about you. What you want me to do? And we call you back in 2 days.
No.
And the last time they said they were going to call me back in 2 days, it's now 2.5 weeks.
I'm checking out the videos. They're kind of cool.
How did he die?
Oh, God, Tom, it was horrible. He was smacked by a Amtrak train that was...
Oh my God! Oh my God! So he got killed doing what he does.
Yeah.
What happened?
He was on the train in Baltimore, on the track, and I think Amtrak doesn't always send the trains on the right line. We're not still really sure what happened, but he was on a bridge and he couldn't get off it. Then the train came down, and I think he probably said, "Oh shucks."
Oh my God! So this train did not have a shoulder. This bridge.
No, we went out there, and it was...
Did he know? I mean, why did he walk a bridge like that? Did he know schedules that well that he could relatively be sure he could make it across?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a big bridge, and to answer your question, he had fans from all over the country. He had fans who worked the railroad who would text him when trains were leaving, so he didn't have to wait for hours.
Was this a bridge he was walking across, and then he couldn't get off it? Meaning what? Was it too far down the jump?
No, it sounded like what happened was the train, he saw it coming. He didn't have enough time because they're very quiet, and so the train came up, grabbed his backpack. He got out of the way, but he had a big backpack, and grabbed the backpack
and dragged him
and just snapped him. And it was 60 miles an hour, and he never knew what hit him. But
oh my God!
But it's it's just, I've been heartbroken for 4 months now, and trying to settle his estate and trying to take care of stuff, and they just won't do anything.
He never had a residence?
Well, he would come and stay with us. He had a place in Montana called Orange Acres, which was like a kind of a couch surfing place.
Did this ever get any media?
What's that?
Did anyone cover his death on the news?
They covered that some guy got killed on the train. There's a web or a YouTube site, Remembering Stobe the Hobo, which has like 4,000 listeners or 4,000 members.
I think we have some people we can contact at PayPal. I'm telling you, these big websites, though, they're so difficult to contact and to communicate with. But if you have numbers, too, if you have anyone you talk to or a contact, or like you said, they were all in the Philippines or wherever.
Well, what I get now, I tried to put it on their Facebooks.
Can't you, do you have access to his email stuff, can't you just go in and change the password and draw out the money and forget doing it the formal way? Just hack in with your...
No, we don't know how to do it.
You don't have his username and password?
I have his, his email address.
Well, then they'll send a change of password to him. You can just do it that way.
Yeah, no, we've tried everything.
Well, did you try that? Did you go on? Did you know what his username was at PayPal?
No, I did not. I know what his website is called, but I don't know his username. We just never expected this to happen.
Of course.
Well, Dad, I set up an account and I'm getting some money from PayPal. Well, that's really great, man. And
was that his sole support?
Well, he had investments. He also was a day trader. I mean, he was really kind of an eclectic guy. He day traded. And...
All right, listen, we're just, we're out of time. We're going to continue this, okay? Absolute radon safety, folks, and mold check.
If you're car shopping, you've probably heard terms like MSRP, invoice, list price, or dealer price. What do they mean?
The guy rode the rails. It said he did more miles than almost anybody.
But I can't believe 700. That seems like an interesting channel. It's hard to get traction on YouTube. Some of these people just get shit. I mean,
I don't know what's...
There's this one family, a wife, husband, and 2 kids. Just a family. They just go on and do nonsense.
Oh, yes. Just
nonsense. Millions and millions.